Yep, surge is going to be a big aspect of this storm. It's going to be one of the many things that people need to be concerned about. Let's take you to the graphics and show you what we're talking about. Right now we have a storm surge warning, and in fact through the west coast of Florida, and a watch in places from Key West to Key Largo. Up in the Georgia coastline, storm surge watch, Charleston down to Jacksonville. Once you get to the first coast, the Palm Coast in Jacksonville, that's where we have that storm surge warning, because it's likely we see storm surge. I want to specifically talk about where we're going to see landfall in just a matter of hours. We could see landfall possibly 4 o'clock Eastern time. We'll track it for you live here on the Merryman Academy Network. Let's talk about this, though, for storm surge. Highest storm surge value is going to be in the Inglewood, Fort Myers area where we could see landfall. Again, 12 to 18 feet of storm surge above normally dry ground. Even up toward Tampa, we could see 4 to 6 feet. And the thing is, if we have that offshore wind, we're not going to see it directly into Tampa, but we could see it on some of those barrier islands right here, close to Sarasota. That's where we could see higher amounts as well. Let's specifically talk about around the Inglewood area. Port Charlotte specifically, we could see 9 feet of storm surge getting down to Port Agora. That's where we could also see 9 feet of storm surge. That's because there's so many channels and bays where we could get so much water coming up the river, because this is where we could see storm surge. So specifically now move to Tampa Bay, just south of there to Fort Myers. Cape Coral, we could see 6 feet of storm surge. Fort Myers 3 feet, depending on where you are, of course. But if you're closer to the coast, we could see up to 9 feet of storm surge. So this is going to be a very dangerous storm. Let's move further south to Naples. Naples could see 6 to 9 feet of storm surge above normally dry ground. This is why you need to pay very close attention to the forecast and make sure you are prepared. Now, you just heard me say a bunch of numbers: 3, 6, 9 feet of storm surge. Here's what 3 to 9 feet of storm surge could look like in your house. When a storm's approaching, we often think about the wind as the most dangerous aspect, but no. In fact, water kills 9 out of 10 people with every hurricane. One of the most reasons for that? Storm surge. Storm surge is when parts of the land become part of the ocean. The best way to illustrate this is to bring it into our house. You can see we got nice, tall, 9-10 foot ceilings, but that will not help against storm surge. Let's bring up the water heights. 1 to maybe 3 feet of storm surge. That's about my waist height. This can cost you anywhere from $5,000 to maybe $10,000 or $20,000 in damage on your household. You notice most of the furniture is underwater. This can cost money as well. But this is not how high it goes. Again, this is life-threatening to many young children, but it goes higher than that. Let's bring it up to 6 feet. That's above my head, and above my head, and above many of the other furniture in the household's heads as well. Many of the furniture is covered, which can cost anywhere from $20,000 to maybe $50,000 in damage. Again, you might need flood insurance for this, because regular insurance does not cover flood insurance or storm surge. But this is not how high it goes. It goes up to 9 feet. That's up to the ceiling. Look at that height. A lot of the lower level is completely destroyed. This can cost anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 in damage. You have to get to the second story to avoid this. And again, with any approaching hurricane or tropical storm, storm surge values are very important, especially if you live along the coast. So make sure you listen to your local officials and evacuate if told to do so, because they know what's best and how to protect yourself against storm surge. Alright, there you have it. That simulates just how dangerous this threat could be. Again, 3 feet of water could knock you off your feet. 9 feet could flood the first story of most houses. More continued coverage on Hurricane Ian as we continue on the Merryman Academy Network. Stay with us.